I've quit the gym, YouTube, language learning, many other things in my life in the past 5 years. Basically, starting and stopping on repeat. I thought this whole time I was lazy, when in fact, I was just doing it all wrong. And simply put, I just thought that I wasn't disciplined enough. I think my frame of thinking has always been goals first. And I think it makes sense because it's seen everywhere. It just turned 2026, and New Year's resolutions are being exclaimed about left and right. Conversations typically revolve around some endpoint or some goalpost. I saw a funny video, but also a disheartening reality of what it's like to stick to things. In the video, the guy said, I should shower. But if I shower, I should probably go to the gym first. But if I'm gonna go to the gym, I need to eat. But if I'm gonna eat, I need to cook and get out all this food. And I don't have food right now. So maybe I'll just end up doing nothing. And the video is kind of silly, but it's also very true. And I agree with it completely. And I think it makes it really easy to quit, not because there's a lack of care, but simply because there's just too much to process. Days of motivation are fleeting, and while they can be great for brute forcing through some days in the process of forming a habit or sticking to something, motivation has never alone been enough to keep me doing something for months or years. I realize sticking to my habits has a lot less to do with how good my high motivation days are, and it has much more to do with how good my low energy days are. What I do when I'm tired or when willpower alone starts to fade. And I think a really good umbrella term for this is frictionless discipline. And when I think about this, it feels more like I'm protecting my low days rather than trying to seek for the high days. I think it makes sense in a really healthy way. Instead of trying to rise to your goals, which I feel like creates pressure, it's more like fall back on what's easy. And I think the reason why this is so cool is because oftentimes in society, we're rewarded for having big, ambitious ideas. People often ask, what's the next step for you? What's your goal? What do you want to do? And I think that just creates a lot of unnecessary pressure. It forces out answers that maybe we don't even feel comfortable saying ourselves, even if it's something we do want. I think having goals, while great, and while it can give a North Star, it's really a lot of hurdles and obstacles layered into an answer. And I think the shift that's helping me more lately is having an environment or a system of easy decisions. Basically, my North Star with this is if it requires daily convincing, it probably won't last. Or something along the lines of letting my environment do the work, not willpower. And something I've noticed in the past few months is that days feel a little bit lighter. And one thing I found kind of fun and kind of interesting is treating this like an experiment. No rigid rules on fixing myself. What happens if I simply just show up to the gym? Or start uploading my videos when they're 80% done instead of 100% done to try to beat my perfectionism. I think this idea is really beautiful because it gives the chance to play with an idea. It's less about rules and more about trying to add something to a life and see how that can maybe make things a bit easier. I do understand that it's not universal, and what works for someone might not work for the next person. But I think that's kind of the cool reality of this, is it adds a different layer to what we already know. It's not gonna make life clean. Life is always messy, but who knows? It might just make life that much less messy. Nothing dramatic has changed, but just feels a little bit lighter.